All right, so I'm out here driving right now, getting some Subway, and I feel like a lot of times I get ranty by just looking at social media. Social media just has that effect on people. It just makes you pissed off about just random things. So I'm sitting on social media and I'm looking at like just a bunch of these different girls and their boyfriends and all kinds of stuff. And sometimes I see I have female friends who complain about their boyfriends. And the thought always just crosses my mind. You complain so much about these dudes you're with. Why are you even dating them in the first place? You hear these girls and they're just like, yeah, I'm dating this guy, but we're not really that good of a match. He's not really grinding. He's not on his hustle. He's not doing his thing. He's just kind of lame. I actually had one female friend. She literally said to me, she was like, I don't really like my boyfriend the way I used to like him. And if we broke up, I might be a hoe. And she said it kind of jokingly, but deep down I know she was being serious, which, I'm not the kind of guy who judges. I don't really care. If you're a girl and you want to go sleep around with a bunch of dudes, I don't personally care. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think what it really comes down to, and this is kind of the whole purpose of the video, I don't really see the point of wasting time. Like, that's just how I see it. And I think it's slightly different if you're a guy compared to a girl. I think if you're a guy, I don't think as a guy you should waste a girl's time. Like, I know guys who will date a chick and they don't want to marry her, but they also don't want to lose her in a relationship. So they just keep her around and they kind of they make it seem like they want to marry her eventually, but they never really commit to it. And it's just like, dude, if you're dating some chick for 5 years and you don't think you're gonna marry her, then why the fuck are you still with her? I just don't see the point in that. And it could be me, maybe I'm weird, but to me it's I don't see the need to exclusively date somebody for the long term unless you genuinely want to marry them. That's just how I feel about it. So on the dude's end, to me that's absurd. Now when it comes to chicks, and this is why I'm ending with chicks and I started off with guys, because I feel like with a guy, most guys I think aren't really choosing their partner that critically, or that, what's a good word for it? They're not really in the driver's seat when it comes to picking their girlfriend. I feel like for a lot of guys, most guys aren't active with who they pick as a partner. They find a girl, the girl likes them, they like things about them, they might have a few things in common. Maybe they'll sleep together, maybe the guy wants to sleep with her. He either sleeps with her and gets attached and he stays with her, or he wants to sleep with her, and to sleep with her, he gets into a relationship with her because he thinks it'll lead to consistent sex. I think that's really what it comes down to. But that's not really choosing. She chose the guy. He didn't choose her, is really what I think of it. And I could be wrong. Maybe if you're watching this, you disagree. Let me know. But girls, on the other hand, I think have a lot more choice when it comes to their partner, at least in general. I think for most girls, simply just being attractive will draw in many guys. I think usually the challenge as a girl is not so much finding a guy, it's finding the right kind of guy for the future that you want to have. And so I get weirded out when I see girls who date guys and they don't seem to like the guy, but they don't break up with the guy. They stay with him for the long term. And to me, it's the stupidest thing you can do. And the reason why I think it's stupid is because, one, you're wasting time. You're wasting his time by being in a relationship with him when he could be finding a different girl. Maybe he's the kind of guy who actually wants to marry you, and you're like, I don't know if I'd actually marry him because he's kind of lame. He's not that good looking. He doesn't really, when we sleep together, it's not that great. I don't really want to sleep with him that much. You just kind of like him for the bond or maybe the emotional validation, but you don't really like him as a long-term partner. It's well, now you're wasting his time because another girl could be perfect for him and he can't date her because he's busy being monogamous and exclusive to you. He's being a good boyfriend, or at least in the general sense, he's being a good boyfriend. So that sucks for him. The other reason why it's pointless is because, and this might sound controversial, I think for a lot of girls, if you want a good quality dude, like a dude who you're able to choose each other, if you want that kind of guy, I don't think most guys are really gonna be okay with you picking them as a last resort, or picking them once you've dropped the other dude. A lot of guys, at least that I know, that I'll say have decent game. And I know sometimes the word game gets thrown around a lot and people kind of cringe at it, whatever. I think it does stand for something. I think it does mean something. I think it's worth using that word because it does have a viable definition. But dudes who have any type of game, who understand anything about females or about life in general, he's not the kind of guy, he's not the kind of guy who's gonna just allow you to drop your old boyfriend and start dating him? Because in the back of his mind, he's thinking, he's smart, and he's thinking, if she did that to her boyfriend when some new dude came along like me, then if some new dude comes along, she's gonna drop me for him. He's not a moron, basically, what it comes down to. So you're being a fool by staying in a relationship with a guy because you're missing out on a potential better partner, a more reliable, suitable partner. Does that make sense at all? It should. So I don't know. Whenever I see girls who like stick in relationships for a long time, I'm just like, you're an idiot. Like, you're wasting everyone's time. You're wasting his time, your current boyfriend, and you're wasting your time because you can't get a new guy, because any guy who's actually worth getting is too smart to fall for the bullshit. He's gonna be like, she's wasting time with her old guy. She's just gonna like monkey branch to me because I'm a G. I'm way cooler than her old guy, and he probably understands it. He probably knows it. And even if he were willing to date you, even if he were willing to take you seriously, he won't do it because he knows better. And he's not gonna screw himself over for like, what, a little bit of sex? A girl who's willing to like leave her current boyfriend for a new guy that she thinks is better. He's not a fool. So, you know, that's all I really want to say in this video. Let me know what you think. Maybe you just completely disagree. Are you one of those people, if you're a guy watching this, that will date a girl long term and then not marry her, or what are your thoughts on that? And if you're a chick, are you the kind of girl who's like, hey, I want to be in a relationship, but I don't like the guy I'm in a relationship with, I just like it for the validation? Or are you willing to stick around long term with a guy that you're really not that into? Let me know in the comments. Until the next video, peace out.